What's going on, everybody? It's going to be a different episode on the Techno King channel. Today we're going to be looking at my baby, my personal bike, the Suzuki Katana. Now, this is going to be a very biased review because obviously, like I said, this is my bike. But I'll try to keep it simple. I'll try to talk about the things that I do like, the things that could be improved in a later version or a more racing-oriented version. And this right here, joining me today is, what's your channel? So he's gonna be following me with a 2004 Suzuki Marauder. That's his baby. That's his workhorse. This is mine. We're a couple of Suzuki boys. We're going to be going through the Pennsylvania landscape and enjoying some nice roads. Now, you're not going to be hearing him because, unfortunately, we don't have a comm system. So this is going to be me. This is a very budget-friendly type of episode. You ready? Let's go. So like I was saying, this is my personal bike. She's my baby, my pride and joy. Lots of overtime hours in order to get her. Now, I did look at a lot of reviews and there wasn't a lot of them, at least here in America. There's a lot of them in Japan, Europe. Before buying it, decided one day, hey, I work hard, I gotta get myself something nice. Boys gotta have their toys, right? And I've been delighted. It's a really good bike. Everything I do say, please take with a grain of salt, because like I said, I might be biased towards a bike because it's my own, and we tend to love our things more than other things and think that whatever we have is better than something else. But let me tell you something about the 2020 Suzuki Katana. My opinion, the bike looks great. From where I'm sitting, looks very premium built. Love the metallic flakes on the paint. Love the black and red. The gray and red looks great if you decide to go for the more retro style. But I think the most controversial part about the bike, which is the looks, because it looks like a reamp of the 80s version. I think they look great, and that was the main driving factor of me getting this bike. I am a big fan of anything 80s music, 80s cars, 80s style. And when I saw this bike and it looked like they took the 80s bike and they put it through a synthwave machine, and it came out of the other side looking like this, it was a match made in heaven. Now, this is running on a K5 engine on a 1000 platform, which means this baby can haul ass. Now this is my first leader bike, and she has scared me a couple times. You probably can't see the instrument panel very well, but I have the traction control and all the goodies set up to level 2. Starting at level 3 will be the highest, so I have it on the second highest, because I put it in off and I decided to twist my wrist a little bit too much. The front wheel got off the ground and the throttle turned into a hyperspace button. And I don't know, Wednesday is not really a yeet yourself into oblivion kind of day. So ever since then, so I kept her in the rain mode, and I've just felt confident enough to take her into the next step. So this is her. Now, for anybody watching and looking at a review of this bike and thinking what the performance is like compared to another street bike, if you go against anybody on a 600 and a 750 and you know what you're doing, you're both are capable riders, you can definitely come up with top. Now, bikes at the end of the day are only as fast as the riders on them, and this bike can be very, very fast. She is faster than me. To be completely honest, she is faster than me, because like I said, it's my first leader bike, and I don't feel like my skills have developed to the point that I can take this by the scruff of the neck, turn all the goodies down, and, you know, drag knee in the corner doing 90 miles an hour. Now, I've never had a track day with her, so that would be very irresponsible of me to do. But, you know, we every now and then get in our feels and decide to do things that we shouldn't be doing. But yeah, she has at about, I think it's running 130 to 140 horses down to the rear wheel. I think it was like 95 foot-pounds of torque, weighs about 450 to 475 pounds. I don't know the spreadsheet. I don't have the spreadsheet memorized. I can tell you that she definitely feels good. She is definitely nimble, and she definitely has torque. Woo-hoo-hoo! Got that front tire up, baby. Making a left here. Did somebody just scream at me? I don't know what that was. Alright, so if I get really quiet during any of this, I'm just going to be concentrating, just enjoying some Pennsylvania landscapes as I ride around and try to MotoVlog. Try to talk about my baby here and make sure that my little brother hasn't killed himself behind me, because he's fairly new, so he's getting some seat time on the Marauder, getting used to it and all that. So let's go back to the Katana. Now, this bike is, the MSRP on this bike is $13,500, so $13,500 is the MSRP here in America. I do think that that is a little steep for the bike, only because there's bikes that are naked, that are leader bikes, and they can be a little bit cheaper than that, or around the same price. You can get something that is amazing. Let's say an MT10. It's a little bit more expensive than this, and you're getting basically an R1 without the fairings. Or you can get bikes that are around $7,000 to $8,000 that you're getting close to the leader class. But this is the only bike that I know of, I could be wrong, that has a futuristic retro style look on a leader class. So I consider this a retro bike just because of its looks. I know it's updated to all hell, but I think this is the only retro bike that's running a leader engine. So on its class, yeah, I think it's a little bit too much for the 13.5. Now, the good news is, because of its style, it's not very popular. Because it's not very popular, a lot of dealerships have new old inventory, which means they put it at a discount. Now, if you can find this bike for about $11,500, $10,500, maybe $10,000 sitting in the dealership somewhere, because everybody else is looking at the new bikes that don't have a retro look to them, definitely a good purchase. And that is what happened with me. I started looking at the bike everywhere, and I could not find a bike, and I did not want to pay $13,500 for it. I couldn't afford it. And the dealership nearest me put it on sale for $10,500. And that is an amazing price for this bike. In my opinion, at least. I could be wrong. I could be told that I'm wrong. That's fine. But I think the $10,500 for this bike, you're getting a liter engine with about 130, 140 horsepower down to the wheel. Naked variant, so it's very comfortable. It sounds great, which I'll do a couple sound cues coming up. And it has some really good goodies like traction control and all that fun stuff. Now, one of the funnest things about this bike is nobody knows what it is. They don't know where to place it. It's so rare to see one of these on the wild that bike guys look at it and they're like, what is that? And then they see the Katana emblem on the side and they're like, I thought the Katana died, you know, 7-8 years ago. And it's a nice conversation piece. I like having a bike that looks a little bit different. I mean, I've always been that guy that goes for the thing that's a little bit different, a little bit more unique than, you know, the popular thing that everybody gets. I like, you know, the gimmicks. I like the quirks. Woo! Big old pothole. But hey, if that's not what you're looking for, if the style really doesn't get you, then go for something else. You know, you're not gonna be looking at the Katana. If you don't like the styles the first time you see it, it should wow you. Then you know it's a bike for you. If it doesn't wow you the first time you see it, then, you know, why even spend money on buying a bike that you don't like? And I love this thing. Every time I see it from the front, it resembles like an X-Wing fighter or whatever the ship is from Star Wars with the lights. It does have some drawbacks, some not so goods. Starting with everybody's pet peeve, the fuel tank. Because of this styling that they went with here, the fuel tank is very small. Now, if you ride it like a normal human being, you can get miles out of it. Right now, it's telling me I got 60 miles still empty. I'm pretty sure I can get about 100 if I ride responsibly. And I usually put whatever the highest octane is, 90 or above, on this for reference. Now, yeah, the fuel tank I can understand. If somebody gives me, somebody throws that argument towards me, I completely understand that, yes, the fuel tank on this is your turn signal. Sorry. Hey, look at me, I smacked the horn. But yeah, somebody throws that argument at me that the fuel tank is small. I'm not gonna say that it's not. I'm not gonna say that it's fine. I'm not gonna say anything. I understand that. I understand how that could be the most annoying thing to somebody, that the fuel tank is small. Now, I don't do touring on this bike. She is my daily every now and then, and I do things like what I'm doing now, which we've passed multiple gas stations. I go to different cities and I explore. I usually don't go anywhere too crazy, so there's usually a gas station somewhere. So it doesn't bother me, but I understand how it could bother somebody else that the gas station is small. I always take it as a, hey, I'm stopping somewhere new, I'm seeing, you know, new people, I might run into another bike guy out there, have a small conversation, stretch out my legs, get something to drink, get something to eat, you know, so it gives you, at least it gives me something to do. But once again I can't speak, Jesus. Once again, I understand if somebody doesn't want to get the bike because the fuel tank is small. Now, because the bike's new, there's no aftermarket support for it. But I can see that somewhere in the future somebody makes basically this tank with the same type of style to it, just a little bit bigger, and you can purchase it. It's probably gonna cost you an arm and a leg, but hey, somebody somewhere is gonna think about it, somebody somewhere is gonna produce it, somebody somewhere is gonna sell it. As it sits right now, when you buy it off of the showroom floor, it does have a small gas tank. Now, it has Brembo. Now it has Brembo brakes in the front, which are really bitey. They do their job well, but it has a Nissan brake on the back, and I'm thinking to myself, why couldn't just put Brembos on both? Is that out of the ordinary? I know that we don't really use the rear brake as much as the front one, but I personally use the rear brake a lot. I'm not on a track. I'm not trying to kill myself, so yeah, I do use the rear brake a lot because it's just convenient. I always modulate how much of my front and my rear brake I'm using, and I don't understand why they couldn't just give it matching the brake systems in the front and the back. If you're just splurging on the front with some Brembos, then splurge on the back with some Brembos. I mean, at a $13,500 price tag, Brembos in the back isn't something out of the ordinary, and it doesn't have a quick shifter, which once again, I'm not on the track, so I don't really need that, but it would be a really nice feature to have. It doesn't have some of the electronics that most of the other brands have, like wheelie control, tilt-in traction control, and all this other stuff. Do I need all that stuff? No, and I know there's the purists that are like, no, you know, a bike with all that stuff is sacrilege. But why not have it at this price tag? Like, you know, just give it all the goodies. Make a racing version with everything, with an updated everything that looks a little bit more like the 80s. Damn, girl. Sorry. That looks like a little bit more like the 80s version. But I don't know. Those are just my my thoughts on it. Now, I don't think this is going to be my last bike. I love this bike. I love riding this bike. Like I said, she's nimble. She has a good amount of speed. I haven't been able to really hit it because once, it would be very immature of me to do so, even though I want to. And two, the traffic is extremely heavy for a Wednesday. But with that being said, I don't think this is going to be my last bike. I think this bike is going to sit in the garage. It's going to have a spot in my heart because it's, you know, first brand new off the showroom floor bike that I bought. My first leader bike. And I've done a lot of firsts. Hello? Alrighty, so back to the video. That was a phone call. That was a buddy of mine, obviously. So, where were they? Yeah, I don't think that the Katana is going to be my last bike. Lately, I've been looking at a more touring-oriented bike. The VFR, the Honda VFR 800, that is a beautiful bike. Full fairings. It's definitely not as powerful as this one. It's not meant to be as powerful as this one, or to go faster, or to, you know, break any speed records. It's meant to be comfortable, to look good, and to take you the distance, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. I want to be able to have a bike that I can jump on the highway and go for miles. And I know there's better bikes than the VFR, but That's the one that'll caught my eye. And like everything else, if it catches my eye, I'll start doing research on it, and if I fall in love with it as somehow, some way, shape, or form, I will go for it. Good? This traffic is insane today for a freaking Thursday. Wednesday, Thursday, I don't even know what day it is. We're on the bikes, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the angle of the camera is kind of weird. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this is a very budget-friendly episode. This is my first ever MotoVlog, so I kind of I bought a Icon Airflight, and the main feature of the helmet is that it has a visor that comes down to your chin. So I can't technically chin mount the camera into the helmet, because whenever I open up the visor on the helmet, the camera's going to be pointing up to the sky. So the main feature of the helmet kind of makes it horrible for what we're doing here. So there's that, and I'm using this little recorder that I found online. It was inexpensive. It's a Sony something something. Hopefully the audio comes through fine. Hopefully I can sharpen up anything that doesn't work too well, and I can keep making videos in the future, because I really want to get into the motovlog thing. I like watching a lot of Yami Noob and Dan the Fireman and a couple others. Those are just my two favorite ones as of right now, and I really enjoy the content, and I kind of want to make, you know, similar content to them. But yes, hopefully there's going to be some roads coming up that I can put its nimble self to work, and you guys are gonna get to see a lot more than just, you know, the back of this pickup for the last 50 miles. Let's go, baby, let's go. Woo! This car's still, bro, we went through a whole light. Look at this. Look at this nimbleness. Amazing. It's an amazing bike. It doesn't need me. It needs a ride. It needs a good rider. So let's keep enjoying these Pennsylvania roads. I'll probably do a short little time lapse or something. Put a little bit of music for the remainder of the video. Sounds like a fun thing to do, right? So yeah, let's do that. Alright, Alex, pick a good song and cue the music.
This is all you need. Be your everything, yeah, I'll be your everything. Still too soon to feel. Please just say it's real. More than just a thrill, not just in it for the thrill. I'm in it for the love, cause love it needs to touch it. You're pressing on my body. Babe, let me tell you something. I'm in it for the love, cause love it needs to touch it. You're pressing on my body. Babe, let me tell you something. I'm in it for the love. I'm in it for the love. I'm in it for the love. I'm in it for the love.
Gotta tell him to slow down here. I don't want him to like come too quick. That bike doesn't have the best brakes in the planet, unlike this one. and I don't want him to hurt himself. This is meant for this. Look at this. Look at this.